Student, good morning. Myself Sri K. D. Borse sir, biology subject teacher. In previous lecture, we learned respiration and circulation chapter content concept, mechanism of respiration. Whole mechanism of respiration consists of 4 steps: breathing, external respiration, internal respiration, and cellular respiration. We learn in previous lecture breathing and external respiration. In breathing, inspiration and expiration, 2 concepts. Today we learn pulmonary volumes and capacities. Pulmonary volumes and capacities, and third steps of respiration known as internal respiration. So let us start today's first concept, pulmonary volumes and capacity. In that first, lung volumes. In lung volumes, first one is tidal volume or TV. What is tidal volume? It is volume of air inspired or expired, means inspiration or expiration during the normal breathing. Means during the normal breathing, total volume of air inspired or expired is about 50 ml. So 50 ml is tidal volume or TV of a normal person during normal breathing. What is normal TV? 500 ml. Second, inspiratory reserve volume, IRV. The maximum volume of air inspired during the forced breathing in addition to TV, called as inspiratory reserve volume, IRV. Means maximum air inspired during forced breathing in addition of TV is about 2000 ml to 3000 ml. Means TV is about 500 ml. So other than TV, the volume of air is about 2000 or 2500. We maximum air inspired during the forced breathing. Always remember, our normal IRV is about 2000 ml to 3000 ml. Third concept, expiratory reserve volume, ERV. The maximum volume of air expired during the forced breathing after normal expiration. After normal expiration, forced breathing, maximum volume of air is expired is about 1000 ml to 11,000 ml. So our normal ERV is 1000 ml to 1100 ml. Third one is dead space, DS. What is DS? The volume of air that is present in the respiratory tract. The volume of air that is present in the respiratory tract from nose to the terminal bronchioles. From nose to the terminal bronchiole present the air, but not involved in gases exchange. Such air is not involved in gases exchange. It is about 150 ml. Means 150 ml air is present in from nose to terminal bronchiole. So this is the volume of air present in the respiratory tract. So this is the dead space or DS. What is normal dead space? 150 ml. Always remember residual volume RV. The volume of air remains in the lungs. The volume of air remains in the lungs and dead space. And dead space even after maximum expiration, called as residual volume RV, and it is about 1100 ml to 1200 ml. So 1100 to 1200 ml is RV or residual volume. Up to this we detail discuss lung volumes: TV, IRV, ERV, DS and RV. We learn pulmonary volume, lungs capacity. In that lung capacity, total lung capacity. What is total lung capacity? The maximum amount of air in the lungs can hold after maximum forceful inspiration. Maximum amount of air in the lungs can hold after maximum forceful inspiration, called as lung capacity, and our total lung capacity is 5200 to 5800 ml. Vital capacity VC, the maximum amount of air that can be breathed out after maximum inspiration. The maximum amount of air that can be breathed out after maximum inspiration is the sum total of TV, IRV and ERV, means tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume and expiratory reserve volume, is about 4100 ml to 4600 ml. So this is the vital capacity of the lung. Up to this we detail discuss lung capacity. In that total lung capacity, also vital capacity, and before that lung volume. Hope that you understood everything. We learn the third main respiration step known as internal respiration. You know, whole respiration consists of 4 steps. Breathing. In breathing, inspiration and expiration process takes place. Second, external respiration. External respiration takes place at lung level, exchange of gases between air and blood. And third main step of respiration known as internal respiration. We learn today detail internal respiration. Exchange of gases at tissue cell level. Exchange of gases between blood and tissue cell at tissue cell level, called as internal respiration. Always remember, in internal respiration, exchange of gases between blood and tissue cell at tissue cell level. In that, at tissue cell, oxygen diffuse from blood to cell, while at tissue cell, CO2 diffuses from cell to blood. Show me with the help of diagrammatic representation seen here. In the blood contain oxygen is transferred from blood to cell. So this is the blood vessel and these are the cell. So blood contain oxygen is transferred from blood to cell, while CO2 is present in the cell are transferred from cell to blood. So this is the internal respiration. Now we know that respiratory gases are CO2 and O2. O2 is transported from lungs to each tissue cells by blood, while CO2 is transported from tissue cell to lungs also by blood. Means through blood, oxygen from lungs transfer to tissue cell through blood, CO2 transported from tissue cell to lung. In blood, two main components are involved. In the blood, two main components are involved in transport the respiratory gases CO2 and O2. First one is RBC and second one is plasma. You know, blood contain two components, RBC and plasma are involved in transport respiratory gases. How oxygen transport from lungs to tissue by blood, how CO2 transport from tissue cell to lung by blood, we learn in detail. So let us start. First, transport of oxygen. How oxygen transport from lungs to tissue. About 97% oxygen transported by hemoglobin. You know, hemoglobin present in the RBC. Such hemoglobin is a respiratory pigment, especially acts as carry respiratory gases like O2 and CO2. So oxygen is transported, hemoglobin about 97%. Always remember how many percent oxygen transported by hemoglobin? 97%. Such hemoglobin is present in the blood. Only 3% oxygen transported in dissolved state of by plasma. You know, RBC and plasma are main components of the blood that acts as transport respiratory gases. Here oxygen transported, RBC 97%, hemoglobin through, and 3% only plasma. Always remember 3% plasma, 97% through hemoglobin present in the RBC. Hemoglobin has high affinity for oxygen. Hemoglobin has high affinity for oxygen, hence hemoglobin combine with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. So such oxyhemoglobin compound is transported compound from lungs to tissue cell. One hemoglobin molecule has 4 ferrous ions. One hemoglobin has 4 ferrous ions. Each ferrous ion can pick up a oxygen molecule. Thus, total one hemoglobin carry 4 oxygen molecule, because one hemoglobin contain 4 ferrous ions. Each ferrous ion carry 1 oxygen molecule. So one hemoglobin carry 4 oxygen molecule. Most of time this question is asked, why one hemoglobin carry 4 oxygen molecule? Because one hemoglobin has 4 ferrous ion. Each ferrous ion pick up 1 oxygen molecule. So one hemoglobin carry 4 oxygen molecule. Always remember. In lung alveoli, in lung alveoli, association of hemoglobin and oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. To form oxyhemoglobin, association of hemoglobin and oxygen, hemoglobin plus 4O2 means 4 oxygen combined with 1 hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin compound. So this reaction takes place at lung alveoli level. Oxyhemoglobin is transported from lungs to tissue cell where it dissociation to release oxygen from hemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin is transported from lungs to tissue cell where at tissue cell level dissociate वेगवेगळे होतील. काय वेगवेगळे होतील? hemoglobin and oxygen. So release oxygen into the cell. Hemoglobin, 4 oxygen molecule combine, oxyhemoglobin compound dissociate at tissue cell level, hemoglobin and 4O2. So this 4O2 is released in the cell. However, the degree of saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen depend upon oxygen tension or partial pressure of oxygen. 100% saturation is rare. Maximum saturation is about 95 to 97% of partial pressure oxygen in the alveoli, 100 mm hug. Degree of saturation decreases with the drop of partial pressure oxygen. This begins the dissociation of oxyhemoglobin. At 30 mm hug, partial pressure oxygen only 50% saturation can be maintained. So the relation between oxyhemoglobin saturation and oxygen tension, relationship between oxyhemoglobin saturation and oxygen tension, that is partial pressure of oxygen, called as oxygen dissociation curve. What is oxygen dissociation curve? The relationship between oxyhemoglobin saturation and oxygen tension, that is partial pressure of oxygen, called as oxygen dissociation curve. Seen here Bohr's effect about oxyhemoglobin dissociation curve. The shift of oxyhemoglobin dissociation curve due to change in partial pressure of CO2 in the blood. So this is the Bohr effect, seen here diagrammatic representation. Here HB percentage oxygen saturation, and here oxygen pressure mm hug. So due to this high CO2 low pH, normal CO2 normal pH, low CO2 high pH. So this is the Bohr effect, the shift of oxyhemoglobin dissociation curve due to change in the partial pressure CO2 in the blood. Haldane effect. The effect cause increase in hydrogen ions, which result decrease the pH of the blood. Increase in hydrogen ions which result in decrease the pH of blood, called as Haldane effect. In that decrease pH of the blood due to increase the hydrogen ions. Here noted Bohr effect or Haldane effect are most important. Most of time what is Bohr effect or Haldane effect, like questions. Hope that you understood everything. In alveoli level, partial pressure oxygen is high and partial pressure CO2 is low. Due to this, oxygen bind with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin compound. How oxyhemoglobin compound form in alveoli level? Due to partial pressure oxygen is high and partial pressure CO2 is low. So this condition, CO2 bind with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin compound, and such oxyhemoglobin compound is transported from alveoli lung to tissue cell. But in tissue cell level, partial pressure of oxygen is low while partial pressure CO2 is high. So hemoglobin does not hold the much oxygen. As a result, oxygen release from hemoglobin, and due to this, the diffusion of oxygen into the cell. Always remember, oxyhemoglobin compound is association by oxygen and hemoglobin at alveoli level. Due to partial pressure oxygen is high while partial pressure CO2 is low, but at tissues level partial pressure oxygen is low while partial pressure CO2 is high, and due to this oxyhemoglobin dissociation process takes place. Hemoglobin release O2 and such O2 diffuse into the tissue cell. We learn carbon monoxide poisoning. What is carbon monoxide poisoning? How occurs carbon monoxide poisoning? Affinity of hemoglobin for carbon monoxide is about 250 times more than the oxygen. Always remember, affinity of hemoglobin for carbon monoxide is about 250 times more than for oxygen. In presence of carbon monoxide, hemoglobin readily combine to form a stable compound called as carboxyhemoglobin. Means carbon monoxide, oxygen and hemoglobin are located at one level. So carbon monoxide and hemoglobin match with each other at 50 times more than the oxygen. So due to presence of carbon monoxide, hemoglobin readily combine to form a stable compound carboxyhemoglobin, and such carboxyhemoglobin is formed due to hemoglobin combine with carbon monoxide. Due to this, such combination means combination of hemoglobin and carbon monoxide, oxygen is not transported to the tissue. Oxygen is not transported to the tissue. Carbon monoxide is transported to the tissue. So due to this, tissue suffer from oxygen starvation. अशी जी कंडिशन होते तेव्हा ऑक्सिजन कमी पडतो कोणाला, तर टिश्यूला. सो टिश्यू सफर ऑक्सिजन स्टार्वेशन and leads to asphyxiation, and extreme cases death is also occurs because starvation of oxygen of the cells asphyxiation takes place, extreme cases, death occurs, and such condition called as carbon monoxide poisoning. Hope that you understood everything how occurs carbon monoxide poisoning. We learn transport of CO2, because CO2 is also one of the respiratory gas released in the cell at the time of glucose is breakdown to form ATP energy. So CO2 is released in the cell. How CO2 transport from cell to blood, and it transport from tissue cell to lung. We detail discuss. CO2 is readily soluble in water and is transported by RBC and plasma. CO2 is readily soluble in water and transported by RBC and plasma in three different forms. First one is by plasma form, 7% transport, by bicarbonate ions, 70% transport, by red blood cell, 23% transport. Always remember, transport of CO2 by plasma 7%, transport of CO2 by bicarbonate ions 70%, and transport of CO2 by red blood cell 23%. We learn one by one. CO2 transport by plasma 7%. About 7% CO2 transported in a dissolved form as carbonic acid, H2CO3 carbonic acid. 7% CO2 transported in dissolved form, carbonic acid. Such carbonic acid break down to form CO2 and water. So CO2 and water is released in the air, in the lung at alveoli region. CO2 combine with water to form carbonic acid at tissue cell level. CO2 combine with water to form carbonic acid at tissue cell level, while carbonic acid is break down to form CO2 and water at lung level. So here reversible reaction seen, CO2 plus water to form carbonic acid. Carbonic acid break down to form CO2 and water. Transport CO2 by bicarbonate ion in the form of sodium bicarbonate. We learn in detail how transport CO2 70% by bicarbonate ions. Nearly 70% CO2 released by the tissue cells diffuse into plasma and then into RBC. Always remember, 70% CO2 released by tissue cell diffuse into plasma and then into RBC. In RBC, Zn containing enzyme known as carbonic anhydrase helps CO2 combine with water to form carbonic acid. Seen here reaction CO2 plus water in presence of carbonic anhydrase enzyme present in the RBC only. So CO2 and water combine to form carbonic acid compound. This carbonic acid compound, carbonic anhydrase enzyme also bring dissociation of carbonic acid immediately inside the RBC, and such carbonic acid is break down to form bicarbonate ions H plus HCO3 minus. So here CO2 plus water, carbonic anhydrase enzyme in presence gives form carbonic acid compound. Same enzyme bring dissociation of carbonic acid to form bicarbonate ions like hydrogen plus and HCO3 minus ions. Always remember, carbonate ions move out of the RBC, bring imbalanced charges inside the RBC. Moment of chloride ions to maintain ionic balance. Moment of chloride ions to maintain ionic balance between plasma and RBC, known as chloride shift or Hamburger's phenomena. What is chloride shift or Hamburg's phenomena? Moment of chloride ions to maintain ionic balance between plasma and RBC, known as chloride shift or Hamburger phenomenon. Seen here diagrammatic representation. Carbonate ion HCO3 minus transfer from RBC to plasma, and in the plasma contain chloride ion. So chloride ion is movement from plasma to RBC, and due to this ionic balance process takes place. Bicarbonate ion come to the plasma, join to form sodium or potassium, forming sodium bicarbonate or potassium bicarbonate. Bicarbonate ion come into plasma, join to sodium or potassium, forming sodium bicarbonate or potassium bicarbonate to maintain pH of the blood. Here bicarbonate plus sodium bicarbonate form, and such sodium bicarbonate form maximum CO2 transport from tissue to lungs. H plus ion is taken up by protein hemoglobin plus H plus HB reduce hemoglobin at the lung level due to low partial pressure of alveolar air. Hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion combine to form carbonic acid. In presence of carbonic anhydrase, it again release CO2 and water. So CO2 and water is diffused in the alveolar air. So always remember, 70% CO2 transport by bicarbonate means sodium bicarbonate. Most of time, how many percent CO2 transport by sodium bicarbonate? 70%. Always remember, up to this we detail discuss transport of CO2 by bicarbonate. In here reaction based representation, carbonate ions are combined to form with the help of carbonic anhydrase enzyme to carbonic acid, and such carbonic acid is breakdown or dissociation with the help of same enzyme carbonic anhydrase to form CO2 and water. Show me with the help of diagrammatic representation. Here, due to ionic balance, carbonate ions combine to form carbonic acid. And this carbonic acid is dissociate CO2 and water. Such dissociate CO2 water transfer from blood to tissue cells. So CO2 transport by bicarbonate ion 70%, sodium bicarbonate. Always remember, up to this we detail discuss how transport CO2 by bicarbonate ion 70%. We learn CO2 transport by red blood cell 23%. CO2 bind with amino group of the hemoglobin to form loosely bound compound carbaminohemoglobin HbCO2. Hemoglobin plus CO2 to form carbaminohemoglobin. This reaction takes place at tissue cell level, and this reaction is reverse seen at alveolar lung level. Carbaminohemoglobin is dissociate to form hemoglobin and CO2. So here noted reversible reaction, hemoglobin plus CO2 to form carbaminohemoglobin. Reaction takes place at tissue cell level. At lung level, carbaminohemoglobin is dissociated to form hemoglobin and CO2. Seen here diagrammatic representation. CO2 plus hemoglobin to form carbaminohemoglobin. So such carbaminohemoglobin compound is formed at tissue cell level, and carbaminohemoglobin decomposes, means dissociate at the region where partial pressure CO2 is low, alveolar region. Release CO2, seen here hemoglobin plus CO2 release from carbaminohemoglobin. Such reaction takes place at alveolar region. Seen here diagrammatic representation at alveolar region. Carbaminohemoglobin is dissociated to form hemoglobin and CO2. Such CO2 is diffused into the alveolar air. So 23% CO2 is transported by red blood cell. Up to this we detail discuss how transport oxygen from lung level to tissue cell level, and how transport CO2 from tissue cell level to alveolar lung level. Review today's topic. We learn today pulmonary volumes and capacity. In that we learn lung volume, tidal volume, IRV means inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, ds, also RV residual volume, lung capacity TLC, total lung capacity, VC, also we detail discuss internal respiration, in that respiratory gases transportation, transport oxygen, Bohr effect, Haldane effect, transport CO2, chloride shift or Hamburger phenomenon. On the basis of today's lecture, some exercise question noted here. First question MCQ. What is the minimum number of plasma membrane that oxygen has diffused across to pass from air in the alveoli to hemoglobin inside a RBC? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, the correct answer 2. Plasma membrane means A2 is the correct answer. Transport oxygen is carried out by plasma, RBC, lung, nostrils. Yes, the correct answer B. RBC transport oxygen. CO2 is carried out in the blood mainly as sodium bicarbonate, sodium carbonate, carbaminohemoglobin, carbonic acid. So sodium bicarbonate, B correct option. CO2 carried out in the blood mainly 70% by sodium bicarbonate. The volume of air inspire or expire during the normal breathing is ERV, IRV, VC, TV. The correct answer is TV, tidal volume. Volume of air inspire or expire during the normal breathing. MCQ number 5. An enzyme carbonic anhydrase found in WBC, blood plasma, RBC, thrombocyte. Yes, the correct answer. Enzyme carbonic anhydrase present in RBC. C, RBC is the correct answer. Oxygen dissociation curve will shift to right on the decreases of acidity, CO2 concentration, temperature, pH. So correct answer is D, pH. Number 7 MCQ. The vital capacity of human lungs is equal to 3,500 ml, 500 ml, 4,600 ml, 1,200 ml. The correct answer is 4,600 ml vital capacity of the lungs, human lungs. How many time dash affinity of hemoglobin for carbon monoxide? 100, 150, 125, 150, 250. Yes, the correct answer 250 time affinity of hemoglobin for carbon monoxide. How many oxygen molecule carry to 10 hemoglobin? How many oxygen molecule carry to 10 hemoglobin? 10, 20, 40, 60. Yes, the correct answer 40, because one hemoglobin carry 4 molecule. So 10 hemoglobin carry 40 molecule. Short answer question. Which are the two main component present in The blood acts as transport of respiratory gases CO2 and O2. Yes, in the blood two main components are present, RBCs and blood plasma, responsible for transport respiratory gases CO2 and water. Second short answer question, the relationship between oxyhemoglobin saturation, partial pressure oxygen is called as oxygen dissociation curve. Correct answer, oxygen dissociation curve. Name the site where actual exchange of O2 and CO2 takes place between blood and air in the body of man. Yes, lung alveolar region. Why? Gases exchange is very rapid at alveolar level because in the lungs 700 million alveoli are present, so exchange of gases surface area is much more. Due to this, alveolar level gases exchange is very rapid. What is chloride shift or Hamburger's phenomena? Yes, movement of chloride ions to maintain ionic balance in between plasma and RBC called as chloride shift or Hamburger's phenomena. Dissociation curve is connected with oxyhemoglobin. Match column A with column B. In column A, TB, IRV, ERV, VC. Number 1, TB. You know, TB 500 ml tidal volume of the lung. 500 ml means 1 match with C. Inspiratory reserve volume. Yes, inspiratory reserve volume is 2000 ml to 3000 ml means 2 match with A. Expiratory reserve volume, yes, 1000 ml to 1100 ml means ERV, 3 match with D. VC, vital capacity of the lung, human being, yes, 4100 ml to 4600 ml means 4 match with B. Up to this, today's lecture completed. Hope that you understood everything. If you like the video, then you can subscribe my YouTube Bioinfo channel. Tap the bell icon and like the video. If any doubt about today's lecture, mention in comment box. Thank you.